Hello, this is Nicole from Soulflower coming to you with our SoulGarden podcast. This is episode 21. We have a very interesting topic for you today, so without further ado, we're going to get into our disclaimers. First of all, this is not a formal podcast. This podcast is for adults 18 and over. The presentation that is done in front of you is with Canva Designs, so thank you, Canva, for that. We do not own the rights to any of the music in the background. This is a YouTube group that produces binaural beats called Infinite Peace Melody. And the binaural beat is 963 hertz, and it focuses on cleansing your aura and opening you up to opportunities for abundance. So if you like an extra little treat, you can put this podcast in your headphones, and you will benefit from the binaural beats that Infinite Peace Melody is providing for us. Thank you, Infinite Peace and Melody. I love that term. We do own a lot of the intellectual material that we're going to be presenting today in this podcast. Some of the material is not owned by us, and we will specify what is and what isn't. We only market to you on our platforms by post. So don't get scammed. If somebody messages you saying they Nicole, it's not. It's not us. Unless you reach out to us, which is through www.soulflowerllc.com, or you can email us at soulflower, that is soulflower@gmail.com. You are not speaking with us. Those are the only two ways that we're going to talk to you. All right. All presented material is for learning purposes and subjective reflection only. We aren't trying to convert anyone. We're not trying to convince anyone. This is a sacred service. If you want to, you can just use it for entertainment. But it's only for your gleaning, only for your observation, and your subjective reflection on your own time. Unless you want to email us. All right. Also, I would like to say, please like, share, and subscribe to our various platforms. We have great material on these platforms that you can definitely benefit from. So just check us out. I'm excited about this particular title because this plays a lot into my own path. Well, everything I present does, but this is something that's really dear to my heart. This is the community that I seek to attract and to serve. So, and be a part of if possible. So let's get into that topic, which is, because we're doing our disclaimers, the leading edge divergence. Yes, this is just another way of saying the other sheep, which that's where the inspiration for everything that Soulflower does come from. It is rooted in serving these particular individuals. Yes, leading edge divergence. In other words, they are called the other sheep in the biblical canon. Scripture base is John 10 and 16, not John 3 and 16. John 10 and 16. I just modernized the terminology, which that does come from Soulflower. Again, we seek to make connections with you if you are leading edge divergent. We're going to get into some of the traits of what a leading edge divergent is. I have given a lot of explanations about this in prior podcasts or episodes. So if you would like to gain even more information about this, and we'll continuously be talking about this particular group, because this group is the group that is the one that expands us. It's the one that provides for us. They nourish us with information and with guidance. These are trailblazers, okay? These are our leaders with integrity. Now, everything has a light and dark side, all right? So, there are leading edge divergents that do not serve others with love, light, and unity. There are leading edge divergents that serve themselves, okay? And they achieve greatness. Um, But the ones we're reaching out to are the ones that have love, light, and unity at the core of their inner foundation, their intrinsic value, and their personal values. Those are the individuals, the beings that we seek to serve. Um, Again, leading edge divergence can range from the Dalai Lama, the Pope, uh, your community pastor, your community deacon, your ordained ministers. They could be your psychologists, your psychiatrists, your doctors. They could be firemen. They could be policemen. They could be writers. They could be artists. They could be musicians. They could be singers. They could be swimmers. You know, the core. They could be on the autistic spectrum. The possibilities are infinite, but we're gonna get into what makes you this, because this is such a general term. We have to get into the foundation and the function, the job, the path of these particular individuals. So let's get into that. Let's talk about that. And that lets you know whether or not these podcasts are for you. So because don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Your time is your most precious commodity. So don't waste your time. This is specifically reaching out for the people that resemble the remarks that are about to follow. Okay, and if you don't follow that, by all means, love, light, and unity to you, and go in peace. And may you always prosper. All right. Let's get into some of the traits right now. Leading edge divergents are here to start a new era where we have the option to discard any and all so-called religious, personal, and spiritual practices that discredit, dismiss, stifle, limit, discriminate, and profit off the ignorance of others. So, one of the main traits of leading edge divergence that we're reaching out to is integrity, all right, and character. All right, many carry a form of innocence where they do, and this in the concept of where they don't seek to harm other people, even if people do things to them. They don't seek to harm anyone, and they have a gift of kindness that they extend because they don't want people to hurt the way that they've hurt. They've been through a lot of shit, had a hard life. Life hasn't been easy, and their class, their race, all of those things vary. Gender, all of that varies. Sexuality, all of that varies within the leading edge divergent. But they do, either they have integrity or they don't. But they are rebels, which is what it means to walk on the outside of religious, spiritual, societal, collective uh, practices and norms. They don't believe in being exclusive at all. They believe in doing everything. They believe in being free, with the exception of creating harm and suffering to others. So that gives you a good rundown of the leading edge divergent. Um, Again, they range from service of self, darkness, to service of light, others. Darkness is, in the context of this conversation, is ignorance. Uh, a lot of leading edge divergence, they become great based off of self-centered principles. These the ones that serve the self, like politicians and a lot of people that dabble into the occult and practice black magic. And yeah, those ones that do things that create harm for others in order to serve the self. Um, Leading edge divergence do not dismiss science. It is not only acknowledged, but it is integrated with their personal values, the spiritual laws they may practice, um, even religious principles or any other principles that they may have come across and adopted for themselves as a part of their path. Usually, leading edge divergence do have a pivotal transformation that takes place some point in their time, well, some point in their lives. Um, the ones that serve others, they usually go through an awakening. Uh, a lot of the New Age people call it an awakening or an ascension, and you go through this process where you become a better person, essentially, in layman terms, to the point where you end up doing something that helps others on from small to global scale. So, um, yeah, that's one transformation of the ones that serve others, that do circuit service like me and my partner Sean. Then there's the other ones that serve themselves. They have the gift of gab, and we gonna talk about them later too. And they have the ability to attract people to follow them, and it's a shit show, but they get it done. A lot of cult leaders are leading edge diversions. A lot of pastors, well, a lot of your religious leaders in your mosque, your temple, places like that. Um, a lot of bodybuilders. You know, you could be anything under this. You just have to go through a transformation, and it pivots you either into serving others and making the world a better place, or serving yourself. And you know, there's no good and bad in this. It's just what it is. It's who you decide to become. So, um, that's some of the traits of leading edge divergence. I did do an article on Brains magazine, um, where I went into some more details about leading edge divergence. So check that out on brainsmagazine.com. That will further help you to determine whether or not leading edge divergent, whether you are leading edge divergent. I know that I am. Leading edge divergents are very intelligent, and they have different forms of intelligence. It's not just academic intelligence. They have uh, there a lot of them are old souls. A lot of them believe that they've been here before. They've been here many times. They believe in reincarnation. I believe, I guess, some of the celebrities that I could say were leading edge would be David Bowie, um, the Queen singer, uh, the lead singer, Freddie Mercury, Prince, Michael Jackson. I think Donald Trump's a leading edge divergent. Um, let's see. There's the chick that play the sorcerer on Doctor Strange. The sorcerer that discovered Doctor Strange. She's a leading edge divergent. Um, a lot of humanitarians are leading edge divergents. It's just it's so much to pull from. Buddhists are leading edge divergent. Thich Nhat Hanh absolutely is a leading edge divergent, even though he's traditional. You know, he still follows some tradition. He did step outside of tradition and create. He's the one that founded the mindfulness concept. So that's a thing. They expand and they evolve whatever they're in. They create a new path for themselves and other people. All right, let's move on. Their main core trait is they crave to sit out and create their own path. No one tells them what to do, and they tend to have issues with authorities because of that. Comes out as a rebellious streak as well. But even speaking personally, I've never really fit in anywhere. Anywhere. No matter what I've done, it's from the time I existed, I've never really fit in. I've always been different. And I finally know why. And it's because I'm a leading edge divergent. And I want other leading edge divergents to know that they're not alone. That you too can crave your own path, that desire that you have, that knowing that you have, that there's something different, that there's something more. There is. Your path exists, but you have to create it. You have to sit out and create it. No one can tell you how to do it. You have to do it on your own. You can have mentors. You can have peers. You have what I call a soul tribe, a soul family. But your path, there's no manual for it. And I know you've been looking, because I look. But you have to manifest it. It's kind of like a childhood movie that I used to love. It's called The Never Ending Story. And this movie is about this child that gets this book. He said he borrows it because he takes it back from this librarian in town. And it ends up he's reading about it, and he's being bullied and for being different, and all of the things. And I'm paraphrasing this a lot. If you want, you can go watch the Never Ending Story. There's two or three of them now. I know it's at least two. The second one wasn't as good as the first one. The first one was in the 80s, so I'm Gen X. Uh, this story is about a essentially a leading edge, someone that's different. They ends up craving their own. They crave to set out their own path, so they ended up creating that path by discovering themselves in this book that expanded upon their imagination. So it is a really good movie. It's a great movie. But this is one of the main core traits of us. There is no path for us. We are the path. Oh, Rumi is a leading edge diversion. This is a Sufi poet. What my favorite? My favorite actually my favorite poet. One of my favorites. I got a lot of favorites. I got a lot of favorites when it comes to poetry, but in one of his poems that's called "Come, Come, Come." I think he's back in the 12th century, but I don't want to lie to you. But he's back in the day. Um, but he's a Sufi, and this is a mystic form of Islam that they do. They do this dance in, and it's called the Whirling Dervish. It's beautiful. Check it out. At any rate, he has this poem called "Come, Come, Come," and I think of leading edge divergence when I every time I read it, and it says, "Don't talk about the path. Say no more about the path one must take. You are my path. Come, come, come." Now he's talking to God, obviously, uh, or well, you know who God is to you, and who he talking to. And to the atheist, he's talking to you. uh, yeah, leading edge divergents know that they eventually realize that they have to create their own path. Um, and that's what Soulflower is about, helping you to create your own path, as we have done. And that's why we're offering our sacred service to you, because mastery learning is the key to the success of the leading edge diversion. I did a podcast on mastery learning, maybe even two episodes, I think, on mastery learning. So this is basically what this is about: is gleaning from different various subjects, various topics, various forms of information. Um, in the academic world, they call it liberal education, but you're gleaning from various things, various people, to figure out who you want to be and who you're becoming. That's what mastery learning is. Is learning how to master yourself. Learning what your values are, what your ideas are, what you think about something, what you feel about something, how you're behaving, how you're operating, what your environment is reflecting back to you about who you are, who you're becoming, or who you've been. That's what mastery learning is. So, and this is the tool that leading edge diversions use. They take mastery learning and apply it to a certain skill, a certain technique, and then they make it their own, and that's how they achieve their greatness. So uh, those are really two big things. The number one, which was we create our own path, and number two, mastery learning is a key, one of the main keys to our success. Again, we are our paths and our pathway. We carve out our own path, and that's what makes us authentic. That's what makes us original. Okay. There is a term that I call this path of leading edge divergence. Um, we'll discuss that term at a later date because I plan on doing a whole episode on it. But this is the path that Soulflower offers to those that are attracted to Soulflower in this podcast, this path. Because if you're attracted to us, then you are leading edge diversion, and you are called to do mastery learning. Um, Mastery learning is the only way that you can walk this path and and achieve self mastery. So, this path you have to move differently than everyone else because you are different. This path is about finding out why you're different, and the path is the path, and the process and the becoming are one. Everything is one. So you'll realize there's no place to arrive. You've been there all along. Because life is about becoming. It's about being. And the order that becoming and that being is left up to us and our free will choice. So we don't necessarily follow one path, but we respectfully glean from the wisdom found in the concepts and traditions and the philosophies and theosophies from even from all traditions and alternative forms of thought. Uh, and then next we unify that and we create values, our own principles that help us to navigate our lives. And once we master that, we can we can provide structure for others to do the same, which is what we at Soulflower here are doing. I'm on this path, and now I can provide a structure for you. I've been on this path for 25 years. When I went through my transformation, I realized this is the path that I'm on. So now we're on, and my wife is as well. So now we're looking for others that are on this particular path. It's not a cookie cutter path. It's not black or white. It's not exclusive either. So we can provide structure for you without overstepping your right to make your own choices and do what's best for you. So it's like reintegrating the integrity back into leadership so that we can create more leaders and establish more order in our society, where an order that provides opportunity and accommodation for everyone to thrive. It's also another way of reintroducing wholeness to the paths we glean from, the forms of thought, the cultures, the values, the principles, the traditions. It returns the integrity back to them because we walk in integrity as a leading edge divergent. So, the ones that are serving others, we're returning integrity to personal and or spiritual growth. So, and development. So that's what the path is about. That's what we're extending to you through these episodes with the podcast, with our business. We don't want your money. We just know where the planet is going. And we want to be of service. We want to assist you in discovering yourself and how beautiful you are and awakening to your own soul. That, I'm telling you, that is some of the most beautiful things that you will experience. This shit is the shit that people are coming back for. I believe in reincarnation. I believe people are coming back to experience these experiences. I believe I came back to experience these experiences. This is such a beautiful place, a beautiful, like a better term, experience. Yeah. All right. As leading edge divergence, here's some things we gotta remember. This is the shit you might want to write down. All right. Self-love is the best love. I repeat, self-love is the best love, hands down. If you don't love yourself, you gonna get fucked up out here. That's the Gen X response. Alright? Self-love is the best love, hand down. Not self-centeredness. There's a difference. Self-love. What does that mean? The ability to approve, to validate, and to express value to yourself overall. All right, not in a high, in a priority sense, not a hierarchical kind of sense, like I'm better than others. No, not I'm my priority because this body, this physical body, is what I have to get around. If I fuck this up, either I'm coming back to this motherfucker or I'm going somewhere where I still gotta figure some shit out. Alright? So, in particular, for leading edge divergence that serve others, that do sacred service like me, or like in particular pastors, even pastors, this shit can apply. This shit helps the traditional people now. All right. So I'm going to be using all this interchangeably because it helps all of us. It's for all of us. That's what the whole. That's the whole point of uh, the path being inclusive, and that's what we need to remember too. We're not better than anyone. We just have awakened to who we are, and we know that others could benefit from awakening to who they are too, if they're ready and if they so ascribe to their shit. Cause we ain't out here saving no hoes that don't want to be saved. It brought me joy. The foundation of our path is integrity. We must remember that. Those of us that are serving, are doing sacred service, that are leaders in our communities and leaders, we're entrepreneurs. Uh, we must remember that the foundation of our path is integrity. And our value is expressed through our relationships if it's rooted in integrity. Alright? I was going to say something else, but it slipped my mind and apparently didn't need to be said. We are multidimensional. What that means is, that's the reason why we don't belong to a particular path. Why we have to carve out our own path is because we're multidimensional. That means that we have a lot of different damn interests. We all over the fucking place. ADHD people, a lot of us, and I say us because I'm undiagnosed, are leading edge divergence. I think multidimensional is it almost is another word for ADHD. We got a lot of interests, all right, and we love doing shit, and we love starting shit. So our problem is we have to master. We're a jack of all trades. The path that I'm talking about for the leading edge divergence makes you a master of one, which is you. Everything has a price. That's a very important thing to remember as a leading edge divergent. If you don't ever hear anything else that I say again, please remember these things. The self-love is the best love. The foundation to any path is integrity. You will have more than one interest, and that's okay. And there is a price to anything that's of value. Lift your hands and receive that. Because one thing for certain and two things are for sure. There is nothing new under the sun, honey. The only thing that is transformed is the way that it is presented to each and every one of us as an individual and as a collective. Okay? So, that's that on there. Everything has a price. And leading edge divergence are the ones that pay the price. And show you where the fucking price is at. Alright? They don't want to organize shit or make us aware of shit so that we can move forward in healthy, healing ways and in other ways, because everything is possible and anything is possible. Remember that you're self-created, therefore you're self-initiated, and that's a huge one for us as leading edge divergent because we don't fit in anywhere. So people are constantly telling us that we don't qualify, that we're not good enough, that we're not significant, that we don't matter, that it's only so much that we can do, that we don't have the grace for it. We don't have the authority or the permission. All of that is untrue. Once you master yourself, there's nothing that you can't do. Okay? There's nothing you can't attract. You ought to move differently from others. You can't do what everybody do. Alright? This is a straight and narrow. It's not a wide path. You can't take everyone with you, and you can't take everything with you. And a lot of shit that is really going to manifest in your reality as you walk on this path is going to have roots within your internal experiences and your internal transformation and processes that occur as you embark on this path. So remember that. And let's see. There is no end game. We're always learning. This path is endless. there is no height, there is no depth, there is no glass ceiling, there is no end. It's infinitely high, it's infinitely low in all directions. So we'll always be learning. And I think this transcends lifetimes. I think death is just a cycle in life. Death is a stage in the cycle of life. Okay, that's the better terminology. If it comes to our awareness externally, we must face it internally first in order for us to be free of it. And there's a lot of practice of that shit on this path. So get your mind right. Get your mind right. Because it's a lot. It is a lot. However, everything you do has value. And it'll be so natural once you grow within this path. Everything becomes so natural, so free flowing that you'll do whatever it takes to make sure that you maintain your balance. So you don't have to worry about whether or not you're gonna get out of balance, because you're gonna get used to this shit. Especially those of us that has experienced a lot of trauma in our childhood, and we've been abandoned by people, and in particular, those of us that's been sexually abused. That's a trigger warning. And you've been either you're a child of alcoholic. Maybe you are that alcoholic. You know, we struggle with addictions too. You know, that's one of the dark sides of being a leading edge individual, divergent. You have a shadow, and that motherfucker is huge. So shadow integration is a must, and mindfulness has been key in assisting me in my shadow integration. So I would love to you go into more detail with you about that. Just contact me at www.soulflowerllc.com or email me. Start up a discussion. soulflowerinc@gmail.com. That's soulflowerinc@gmail.com. Alright, so remember I was talking about there are two different types of leading edge divergence. Well, we came up for a term for the one that they're just out for themselves. They're just out to improve themselves, and that's fucking it. And they don't give a fuck about you or me or anybody else. But they are great at what the fuck they do. So, we call them leading edge deviants and leading edge divergent. I fucked up the top of this, but it's supposed to be leading edge divergent versus leading edge deviant. The leading edge divergent carries a sense of innocence, it's seen as naivety. I think the leading edge deviant could be the dark empaths too. The other empaths, the regular ones that's trying to make it, they're the leading edge. They are definitely, I think all empaths are either leading edge divergence or leading edge deviants. People that are kind are the same way. I think we could kind of fall into leading edge deviants too when we don't do a lot of shadow work. So I think that distinguishes them a little bit more too. The leading edge deviants, they don't carry a sense of innocence. They gonna, they don't really have a filter. They get me and I get you back. They the petty motherfuckers. um, leading edge divergence can be petty. Like I said, there's a spectrum of shadow here, but the leading edge divergence do carry a sense of innocence that is seen as naivety, which means people think you are dumb. They think they get over on you. Leading edge demons, they may think that, and leading edge demons may have caught on to that shit and using it for their, using it to their advantage. Because I do think the leading edge demons have more to give the gab than the leading edge divergence. In a lot of cases, they at least it would benefit them greatly. Benefit both of them, but it would really escalate the leading edge deviants objectives. Leading edge deviants possess kindness, and they see it as a weakness too. Leading edge divergents have the kindness that others see as a weakness that they can take advantage of. Leading edge divergents have integrity and dignity for others. Leading edge deviants, roll of the dice. Leading edge deviants have narcissistic traits. Um, their main difference would be their character, and that's something that's developed over time. So you really wouldn't know. Well, if you are on the leading divergent path, you would be able to discern the leading edge divergent from the leading edge deviant based upon the energy that they are in and surround themselves with. Let's see. But yeah, the main difference is character, shadow work. Leading edge divergence uses pain to heal self and others, other sheep. Leading edge divergence use pain to become more self-centered, and they use it to further themselves in their goals. Use it to become more ambitious. Leading edge divergence tend to suffer in existing institutional cultural structures. Again, you can't be in these places. I've tried. I've tried church. I was going to join the mosque. I've tried the churches out. The churches that's been, the holy roly people. I've tried I've tried different forms of the Protestant. I've been to the Catholic Church. I've been a lot of places. A lot of different. I did Protestant and Catholic. I visited Catholic. Been very much involved in a lot of Protestant traditions. In particular, Pentecostal and Baptist. I've even studied with the Mormons. That's how I got started out. Those guys really helped me out. They really taught me about sacred service too. I'll tell that story one day. They made me put some respect on their name. But this is something we just can't do. I've tried a lot of things, and I know you have too. If you are resonating with this material, you've tried a lot of things, and you just tend to suffer. A lot of LGBTQIA people are leading edge divergence because they're highly creative. And I just want to say this: those of you that believe in spirit or God, the universe, you are loved. Don't let anyone tell you that you are not. Anyone that does is a liar, and the truth is not in them. This is not that is not the way that God has created a path for you, and even in introducing their existence to you. So that's that on that. But you don't fit into this shit, so it would behoove you to stop trying. But you got time. You got time. When you ready to stop, we hearing is so many other people that are doing work like this that know way more about technology and shit that you can be a part of. I know, and they making a great name for themselves. I'm proud of them. Much love, much respect. I'm going to continue to make the difference that I can make on the scale that I can make it on, and hopefully, I'm making a difference with you, and that this is resonating with you, so that you can try something that bring you more content. Just because it exists doesn't mean it's for you. Sometimes we have to create a space for ourselves. And that's what being a leading edge diversion is about. Teaching ourselves and teaching others how to create our own sacred space. One that is without suffering. One that we can walk outside of existing institutional and cultural structures and still be valid, still be credible, still matter, still make an impact, still provide a sacred service. So, yeah. Leading edge divergents are called to be all who they are, to discover what they are. Alright? And that's why we don't fit in a box. Because it's so much more to us than just one thing, one aspect, one dimension, one timeline. Huh. Whatever that is. Alright. This also goes back to how the leading edge divergents are called to glean from all paths and wisdom and information in order to create an authentic path for themselves and to become a more authentic person for them. All right, let's get into our energy report with our mastery card pool. Let's see. Energy report. The sun is now in Taurus. That I know. I had some more notes, y'all. Trying to find them. But the sun is in Taurus. I had the other transit. Every time I do this energy report, I ain't got all the material. Well, anyway, the sun is in Taurus. Pluto's about to go in retrograde. I remember that. We just had a new moon. I think that was last week. New moon in Taurus. But Pluto is retrograding in Aquarius, I think. But what all that shit means is, people are gonna call us out on our shit. If we doing any grind, I think that was last week. But yeah, they're still standing. If we're doing any grind that's take it to the grave, you might want to be aware of that shit coming out. Our focus is supposed to be self-empowerment through self-awareness. Let's see. It's a great time to focus on what's driving our behaviors and why, and what's really motivating us. That's a great reflection for leaders. Normal is pretty much obliterated. This is pretty much a review of the last. Normal is pretty much obliterated since 2020. So if we hold on to any nostalgia about going back to that shit, you might as well let that go. We're gonna let that go. Because that ain't happening. We're in a new era. Seek understanding and acceptance in the position of the observer. So that is a big thing. That is a big current thing. Let's see. It's time to move forward on projects you've already started. So don't start any new shit. Keep building upon the shit that you've been working on. There's going to be a lot of pent up energy due to emotional purge function, the emotional purge function of the energy. So right now, things might feel a little tense. You feel all focused as fuck. Like you're not getting a lot of stuff done. Okay, here we go. Mercury goes into Aries, Mars is in Leo. You gotta watch your Freudian slips because shadows popping out right now. It's shadow popping time. Watch our own shadow projections. That's when we go off on people and they didn't deserve that shit. It's a reaction that's like over the top. It's not. It doesn't match the energy of the experience. Like you slamming the door and everybody else is happy. Shit like that. Let's see. Time to move forward. We had the unexpected thunderstorm. That was from last week. Make sure we're still staying present, conscious. Make sure we're practicing self-discipline and we're staying self-managed, staying grounded. Make sure we're responding, not reacting, because this is a shadow popping time. It's time to start a new adventure in your life if you're going to do something. But finish up all your other creative projects. Time to ground ourselves and be in a moment. It just seemed like that was last week. If it's last week, y'all, I'm sorry. But energy still stands. Oh, now's a good time to go out and play. Do something physical. Do something that's fun. So yeah. Oh yeah, I meant to mention this in the podcast. I knew I was forgetting something. The other sheep concept. Some people call them the golden sheep too. I'm gonna do a little bit more research on that because I don't remember where the fuck I got that from. But that is a thing. The golden sheep. Well, that's the end of the energy report. Mastery card pool. The theme of this is taking time for meditation and prayer. Today I will take a moment for meditation and prayer. I know that I'm a creation of God and that they love me. God, through meditation and prayer, we have faith that we will hear you when you talk to us and you will listen when we talk to you. Yep. So that concludes the mastery pool. That goes along with the energy report and talking about being self-disciplined. Meditation and prayer helps you stay aligned with those things, and also it helps you stay aligned with the intentions that you set for yourself, with your goals and your objectives, your plans and stuff. Now's a good time to plan a trip. you want to go out of town, do something with your boo thing, it's a good time to plan that. So, yeah. Thank y'all for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel and all of our platforms, which are Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Um, Usually you can use that Soulflower 444 like you see on the screen. Um, our, if you want to contact, we have some contact information on Facebook. You can also go to www.soulflowerllc.com, or you can email us at soulflowerinc@gmail.com, as it is spelled at the top of this presentation on the right. We would also like to talk about our Brains Magazine articles that we have written. We have 5 published articles now, which include this subject, the Leading Edge Divergent. So if you are thinking that you are uh, a leading edge divergent, even if you're a leading edge deviant, you could benefit from those Brains Magazine articles, because not only does it talk about the leading edge divergent, it talks about a lot of the things that keep us healthy and help us to grow. Other services that we at Soulflower provide outside of this sacred service of podcasting and doing the posts and all that shit is text counseling. And what that means is I hold sacred space for you, or my wife. We hold sacred space for you about an issue that you may not have spoken to other people about. That text counseling is particular for that chapter that you don't read out loud to everyone else. Those things that you want to take to the grave. That shit is toxic. You need to talk to somebody. So, uh, it's toxic to your health. We are ministers here. We're confidential. You could literally sue us for telling your business. So, we do implore you to utilize text counseling. Just email us at soulflowerinc@gmail.com and talk to us about getting set up for that, because you do. Some secrets are toxic, or like if you're in a situation and you need to just talk to somebody about that shit. There are It's just some shit that literally will lead you into bad health, and we want to just hold space, a non-judgmental space for you with that. We also have our new Tomorrow Collective program where we train you how to do mastery learning. We train you in mastery learning. We train you how to do the inner work with the mastery learning. Yes. We train you how to do meditation. We also marry conventional, traditional, and non-traditional couples. We do couple coaching, and we assist couples with couple planning. We also do life coaching. So those are the services that we can assist you in growing with. But until then, please, again, like, share, and subscribe to our channels, our platforms. Tell someone about the podcast. And by all means, reach out to us, because we are reaching out to you. Love, light, and unity to you. Until next time, and I don't know. I'm hoping to get Sean back on here to do a meditation session with y'all, and then we do another like drive-through meditation thing where you can just kind of come through and meditate with us throughout the day. yeah, just stay tuned to our platforms because we're not really on a strict time schedule with this shit because we got life, and until we can get the exposure that we need to make this, permanent, we're gonna have to keep working. So reach out to us. We're reaching out to you. Until next, and we'll, just stay tuned to our platforms for when we do other podcasts and shit. I like our TikTok page. Check that out. I'm working on Instagram. I'm working on it. But until we speak again, love, light, unity to you, and live free, but die well.